AI video generators are everywhere right now. Every week, there's a new one claiming to revolutionize content creation in terms of speed and efficiency. But when it comes to patient education, efficiency isn't enough. You need accuracy, empathy, and clarity. They still matter most. So our team decided to run an experiment. We recreated the exact same video 4 different times, specifically for patient education. Now, we did one the traditional motion graphics version, what you can call the old-fashioned way, with an illustrator using Adobe After Effects and Adobe Illustrator, one using Synthesia, another one using Google VO, one with OpenAI Sora, and lastly, we did one that was kind of a hybrid. It was still Adobe products, but they used Adobe Firefly, which is their native AI tool. Then we sent them to 100 patient education leaders, the videos, and we asked one simple question: which one would work for you best? This wasn't just about production speed. We wanted to see how AI tools handle tone, accuracy, and visual storytelling when human lives and understanding are on the line. Each platform has a unique strength. Each has limitations, and only one found the balance of efficiency and authenticity. Option 1 was traditional motion graphics. You would call this the old-fashioned way, but it was essentially talented artists working with Adobe Illustrator and After Effects. We started off with what's familiar. Our team created a professional patient education video using their Adobe motion graphics animation skills, voiceover, and manual editing. The result was a clean, polished, emotionally grounded, and accurate effective patient education video. It was a bit time intensive. Production did take days. There was some script revisions, animation feedback cycles. Now, this method still produces the gold standard for clinical accuracy and brand control, but it's not necessarily scalable for teams managing dozens of conditions, procedures, or patient populations.
Bruising. Bruising will vary quite a bit from person to person. Some people will have minimal to no bruising, and others will have a lot, especially if they've been on blood thinners. Bruising may take up to 1 to 2 weeks to develop. Shoulder version. It has a tendency to follow gravity and extend down to the chest, arm, and elbow. It may even extend all the way down into the...
Option 2 was Synthesia. We wanted to use Synthesia because they use these AI avatars and voiceovers, and they're consistently getting better over time. You essentially type a script, and within minutes you get a presenter-led video. We combined it with their native B-roll function. What's great about this, it's fast, it's simple, and it's multilingual. But in patient education, tone is everything. Our test video felt a bit robotic at times. The avatar smiled in moments where empathy was needed and stayed a bit neutral where warmth mattered most. It's powerful for maybe a standard procedure walkthrough or a quick instruction, but not necessarily ideal for sensitive health conversations.
Bruising will vary quite a bit from person to person. Some people will have minimal to no bruising, and others will have a lot, especially if they have been on blood thinners. Bruising may take up to 1 to 2 weeks to develop. Shoulder version. It has a tendency to follow gravity and extend down to the chest.
Option 3 was Google VO. Google's new VO video generator is honestly quite awesome. VO produced stunning footage. The lighting, the details, the cinematic realism were impressive. But realism isn't everything. The generated visuals occasionally misrepresented clinical details, like showing an infection instead of bruising. In patient education, those details matter most. Beautiful mistakes are still mistakes. With additional revisions, this can definitely be fixed with additional prompting, subject matter expert feedback, and focus on the details that matter. But we wanted to show you the type of glitches, so let's check it out.
Bruising will vary quite a bit from person to person. Some people will have minimal to no bruising, and others will have a lot, especially if they have been on blood thinners. Bruising may take up to 1 to 2 weeks to develop. Shoulder version. It has a tendency to follow gravity and extend down to the chest, arm, and elbow.
Next, we tried Sora. This is OpenAI's essentially video generation tool. Sora's realism rivals anything on the market right now, and it has the ability to create stunning animated scenes. It can create a simple generated art style or style aligned to what you're currently using. But here's the problem. You still can't control yet every detail enough, specifically for clinical accuracy. Scenes sometimes shift tone mid-framing, or maybe there's one or two details that are just slightly off. Don't get me wrong, it's still breathtaking tech, but it's not ready yet for regulated content, at least in our professional opinion. In this field, precision equals trust. Let's check out the video.
Bruising will vary quite a bit from person to person. Some people will have minimal to no bruising and others will have a lot, especially if they have been on blood thinners. Bruising may take up to 1 to 2 weeks to develop. Shoulder version. It has a tendency to follow gravity and extend down to the chest, arm, and elbow.
The final option was Adobe Firefly. We use the exact same script and we combine our amazing illustrator's talent and ability with Adobe's native AI tool, Adobe Firefly. Firefly lets you build visuals scene by scene, mixing AI generation with manual design and motion elements. We had a lot of control here, but it did take a little more time. We had flexibility, we kept the human storytelling at the center. The result struck a perfect balance: efficient production, visual authority, and authenticity. No awkward hand gestures or mismatched lip sync. Details were on point, and it was simply amazing. Everyone else thought the same. It didn't feel like AI-generated content. It felt very thoughtfully designed, as if AI was more of an assistant to make things more efficient, but not the director.
Bruising will vary quite a bit from person to person. Some people will have minimal to no bruising and others will have a lot, especially if they have been on blood thinners. Bruising may take up to 1 to 2 weeks to develop. Shoulder version. It has a tendency to follow gravity and extend down to the chest, arm, and elbow.
Now with the comparison, this was actually kind of interesting because when we surveyed over 100 patient education leaders across hospitals, universities, and association systems, the feedback was clear. And guess what? Traditional motion graphics ranked second for trustworthiness and if it worked for their office. Now, Synthesia scored well for speed and localization. Everyone was impressed that you can do multiple languages very quickly. Google VO was also impressive along with Sora. But guess what? Adobe Firefly came number one in terms of that sweet spot. Everyone thought it worked for them. And what's great too about this was it was still a lot more efficient than the traditional way. Firefly became the sweet spot and was the favorite in terms of design and usability. It balanced creativity and control, delivering visuals that felt human while keeping that efficiency of AI we all need in this field. AI video generation isn't about replacing design teams. It's more about freeing them to focus on the things that actually matter. When done right, these tools don't just cut cost. They expand access, they help healthcare teams reach patients faster, in more languages, and with greater consistency. But they still need a little bit of human oversight, because empathy, context, and ethics still can't be automated. This experiment was fun. It showed us something very important. AI doesn't need to replace humans in terms of this video production process. It just needs to amplify our abilities, and Adobe Firefly was a tool for this. Now, if you want to know more about this type of video process, definitely subscribe. Check out our website. We're always happy to discuss the actual process, and thank you so much.
Curious about building your own microlearning like this? We've got your back. Click the video cards for step-by-step videos. Subscribe for weekly tips, and check the description for a curated list of resources to kickstart your journey.